Why aren't you afraid, human? The air was thick with ash and ozone, heavy with the scent of something ancient and wrong. Craters still smoked across the battlefield, and twisted metal from ruined orbital dropships jutted from the cracked earth like broken bones. The stars above burned cold and silent. Sergeant Elias Voss stood alone among the dead. The rest of his unit, Delta Squad, 6th Expeditionary Marines, was gone. Vaporized, shredded, or torn apart by claws and kinetic shockwaves. They had made planetfall on Karvalek 4 with full confidence. Another hostile world to pacify. Another enemy to crush. Another box to check for the war machine of Earth. But they had not expected her. The XY-Reth were a known threat. Tall, insectoid, chitin-armored nightmares with psychic resonance that shattered lesser minds. And she was their queen. Queen Narasha stepped through the smoke, every movement fluid and deliberate. She was taller than any man Elias had ever known, her obsidian carapace glinting with iridescent oil-slick colors, her eyes glowing like dying suns. She surveyed the carnage with satisfaction, then tilted her head as she approached the human who dared remain standing. He didn't flinch, didn't raise a weapon. "Why aren't you afraid, human?" she asked, her voice a thrumming blend of sound and thought that rippled across his brain like cold water. Elias exhaled slowly. "Because I already died on the first day of this war." Narasha narrowed her eyes. "Explain." He looked up at her. "I watched my home burn from orbit. My wife and daughter were in the city when the XY-Reth came. I saw the fire bloom where they were. There wasn't anything left. So no, I'm not afraid. What could you possibly do to me that hasn't already been done?" There was silence. The wind shifted, stirring dust and ash. "Pain," she said finally. "There is always more pain." Elias smiled, not kindly. "Then bring it." Narasha stepped closer, towering over him. Her claws flexed, but she didn't strike. Instead, she studied him, intrigued. She reached into his mind, not subtly, but forcefully, like plunging a hand into water. But Elias didn't shudder. He let her in. Memories surged into her. The laughter of a child, the warmth of a kitchen, the simple joy of waking beside someone you love. Then fire, screams, silence. Elias on his knees in front of a holoscreen, mouth open in a silent scream, face pale and dead even though his heart still beat. "You carry your grief like armor," she said softly. "No," Elias replied. "I am my grief." She circled him, intrigued by his stillness, the calm at his core. Most humans screamed or begged. Even the bravest had a tell, a heartbeat too fast, a tremor in the fingers. But he had none of it. Just the eerie stillness of someone who had already embraced the void. "You fascinate me, Elias Voss." He raised an eyebrow. "Didn't expect the queen of nightmares to flirt with me." A low, rumbling hiss, laughter, perhaps, escaped her. Human defiance. A crude but persistent flame. "Funny. You see it as crude. I see it as everything." She leaned closer, mandibles twitching. "You've killed many of my children. And you've killed all of mine." She paused. "I could end you," she said. "Split your atoms across this field. But you won't," Elias said, stepping forward. "Because I scare you." Her mandibles clicked. "You amuse me." He shook his head. "No. You don't understand humans yet. That's why we're still here. You think fear is a weakness, that pain makes us break. But humans grow around pain. Like a scar over a wound, we build strength where the hurt was. We remember everything, and we carry it into every battle. You cannot win this war." Elias shrugged. Maybe. But you won't break us. And that terrifies you. For a long moment, they stood there, predator and prey, soldier and queen, the silence between them charged with something ancient. I felt your rage, your loss, she said. It burns brighter than your sun, but it will consume you. I hope it does, Elias said, because then it'll burn you too. Narasha stepped back, her expression unreadable. You are a weapon of grief. I'm just a man with nothing left to lose. She paused. Perhaps that makes you the most dangerous kind. A humming echoed across the horizon, distant, mechanical, rising. Elias didn't look away from her. You feel that, he said.
She did.
Drop ships. Reinforcements. The rest of the Terran Third Fleet was descending. You came alone, she said. Never alone, Elias replied. Just first. Her gaze flicked to the skies. Fire trails of descending pods streaked like comets. She turned to him again. Would you accept a ceasefire?
No.
She stared. Then you condemn your species. No, Elias said. You did that the moment you killed a little girl named Sarah who loved stars and strawberry ice cream. You made this personal. You made me. Narasha slowly stepped back into the mist. I will remember you, Elias Voss. He nodded. Good. Because I want you to. Then she was gone, a shimmer in the air, her form dissolving into psychic static. The sky above split with fire and steel. Elias looked up, finally allowing himself to breathe. He was not afraid. He was the echo of every scream his people had endured. And now he was the answer.